Is the most positive hour I've experienced on CHML in a long, long time. Cupcakes and Consciousness is the name of the show. I'm here with Kelly Childs and Erinn Weatherby, and Kelly's Bake Shop is the nucleus of all of this, but it's not where it ends, because you do writing. You've got a great cookbook called Made with Love, which is one of the reasons why we keep saying that with this show. But Made with Love also comes about in a different way as well. And that's the dynamic between Kelly and Erinn, the mother-daughter duo.
Yes, and I think, you know, we've been working together now for the better part of 10 years. It's actually unbelievable that it's been that long
Did
together.
we celebrate an anniversary?
Maybe.
We should have done that.
We should have. But no, I think that the dynamic, I mean, a business relationship, you know, there's bound to be ups and downs, but then, you know, when you add in the mother and daughter dynamic to it, it adds a whole other level to that, right? So for us, I think we've done our best to, you know, bring in consultants and bring in advisors to kind of help us to guide this relationship.
Life coaches.
Yeah,
please protect me from Erinn.
Oh, quiet. But no, I think it's just been like a beautiful relationship though, and it's been something that, like, who else would I rather be in business with than my mom? This is like the coolest thing in the world that I get to do this with her every single day.
Yeah.
So
well, thank you. That's so lovely. And you know what? It's incredible to me. I think that the business has there's no downside, because you know you're with someone that you can totally trust. They already know you emotionally. They already know if you're a crazy person or not, and you know, so there's no surprises there. And the hardest part is being honest. You know, when you require something and you need something from that person, and that's when Erinn was saying we've hired in consultants and coaches, is because they help to bridge that honesty factor, because you know, Erinn's still my daughter, and I say something, I don't want to hurt her, and I'm still her mom, and she doesn't want to hurt me. So it has been an extraordinary experience for us, and I believe that our entrepreneurial life and that entrepreneurship of like how we actually run our business is really, there's nothing stopping us now, because we've sort of covered every single angle that potentially could have a wobble to it, and we always are proactive in correcting those potential wobbles. Yeah.
Now, one of the questions that came through on Instagram, and that's one of the many ways that you can be in touch with the show, was about how many locations you have, because you were talking about this huge delivery area that you have, and that people come from all over the place, and they come to the mothership, as it were, Kelly's Bake Shop on Brant Street.
The mothership,
right? Well, as of right now, we only have our location on Brant Street in Burlington at 401 Brant. But we are actually right now investing into a beautiful online platform, an online store that people are going to be able to purchase our treats for pickup, for delivery, and then as well for shipping. So we're super excited about this, because this is going to allow us to take it to the next level, and then from there, multiple locations and just everything.
It's going to be massive. Yeah, the online store is, we believe that's just going to set us apart, because you know, we're just really investing heavily of the time, finances, everything, of just going, this is what we want to move going forward, and this way we get to touch people's lives, though, from Halifax to Vancouver, Victoria, you know, and there's been that you know, sort of isolation of not being able to share our love, because we love everybody. We've got so much to share that we want to be able to expand it right across the country.
So obviously there is a bit of a website. There's the location at 401 Brant Street. How else can people get in touch?
I mean, you can get in touch online through our Instagram and our Facebook pages. So at Kelly's Bake, so KELLYSBAKE, and through Kelly and I personally, so at Kelly Childs XO and at Erinn Weatherby as well on Instagram and on Facebook too. And we're very active on social media, so you guys will hear back from us right away.
Yeah, we love that. I mean, you know, we call it Kelly's Tribe, right?
Yeah.
And there's this really big, Erinn's t-shirt's got it on right now.
Kelly's Tribe.
And this is, you know, our connection with each and every one of you, you know, our fans, customers, everybody. It's just so important to us. We really honor you guys so much. So, like I said, we are an open book, and if ever you want anything from us, please just send us DMs and stuff, and we're right there for you.
Interesting you mentioned an open book, because you have a book. And
we
it's
have a book.
amazing. It's more than just a cookbook.
And we
It's
have
more
book
than
number
just-
2 coming too.
Absolutely, and that's in the process of being
Yes,
created.
yes.
But you can get Made with Love, which is more than 100 sweet and savory plant-based recipes. I picked mine up at Indigo, but I think you're on Amazon as well.
We are on Amazon.
Yeah,
And
we're-
at the bake shop.
correct.
Yes.
Absolutely.
We do signed copies at the bake shop
Yeah.
too for you guys. If you want our little signature on there, we do that for you.
Well, guess what's going to happen before you leave the station?
Yeah, we
today?
know.
We are going to be back with another edition of Cupcakes and Consciousness on Sunday, the March the 10th. And what I'm going to do between now and then is make at least 3 of these recipes and give you some feedback.
Perfect.
They look so good.
Amazing.
We are so excited for that.
Yeah, it'll be great.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it.
Amazing.
We only have about 10 seconds left. Very quickly, why do we need more love?
I just
The planet is the way we're changing, guys. It's where we're heading to. So you can't resist it any longer. Love is all there is.
open up.
Thank you for being with us on 900 CHML. As I said, we're going to be back on Sunday, March the 10th. Please get in touch with us then.
I love it.
I can't wait to try some of these. I really can.
That's so fun.
And fangirl time.
Fangirl time. We got it.
I
Should
think
have brought
that was
our
good.
pink
It was
markers.
uplifting, right?
Awesome.
It was
Good.
great. Good.
And, you know, good morning. I'm Shonna Thompson. I get to be in here with Erinn Weatherby and Kelly Childs from Kelly's Bake Shop. This is the most positive hour you are ever going to hear on radio anywhere.
We hope. We
Great.
really hope so.
Great.
Again, we call it the show that's made with love because that's the title of their book. More than 100 sweet and savory plant-based recipes from for every moment in life. And pick it up because
Thank
if
you.
you've been thinking, even if you haven't been thinking, these are tasty, great recipes that you're just going to enjoy, and your body's going to enjoy it too.
And they're easy too. Like we made it on purpose to
Yes.
be very, very easy to assimilate into your life. And
Yeah.
it's not something too that you need to do cold turkey and switch your life over completely that way. It's try it out. Like
Yes.
just try a recipe. You know,
Yes.
what do you have to lose?
Yes.
Really
exactly.
nothing. There's nothing to lose. Right?
Variety is the spice of life.
Absolutely.
Speaking of which, you have a lot of great recipes in here for sauces and flavorings. I'm
Yes.
going to try the chipotle mayo.
Chipotle mayo is delicious.
one of
It's
my favorites.
so good. And you know what? Just to add to my mom's point, there is, even try meatless Mondays or something. You don't have to go all or nothing. You can do a little bit here, a little bit there, and just try what feels good for you, right? And that's it.
Kelly, I wanted to get into some of your personal story because so often when people make this kind of a complex change in their life, it comes from a personal experience, and that's true for you.
Yes, it is true for me. And in 2008, we had, or I should say I had, but we as a family, I had a very sudden diagnosis of having masses in my liver, and that spawned me to really dig deep. We were not vegan at that point, and I had been brought to my attention because we were healthy. Like, don't get me wrong, we were living a very vegetarian, healthy life, but I was still hanging on to fish, and it was a chef in Toronto that recommended the book to me, and it's called The China Study. And so at that point, I was going like, why me? I've been this person that just embodied health. I was guiding people to eat the most healthful way that they possibly could and change their lives through the power of nutrition. And it was just all self-taught. I'm not professing to be anybody by any means. I've gone to school for it. So this is just how I roll, guys. And so I picked up the book called The China Study. And I read it from front to back, from back to front, from front to back. And I had never been so enraged. What it taught me was creating the demystifying of everything I've been taught my whole life. So the China Study showed me and spoke to me in a way that I just could never go back to how I had been eating. And that was even still taking in dairy and not understanding, for me, the health benefits and the health detriments to it, etc. And again, I don't want to get into, taking anybody on here, but it changed my life to eat the way that I do today. And when you read things and when you get transformed from learning something, that rage is what creates change. Mm-hmm. And I was in tears, sobbing, and reading about how dairy can potentially affect us, and how animal proteins affect us, and it changed my life. And so it then went into Erinn and Michael and Ken and everybody, and we just went on this mission of really changing our lives, and that's when the passion went into opening up our restaurant after that. So that to me was everything.
I can hear the emotion in your voice, and I can see that it's welling up inside of you.
Yes.
How passionate you are about this.
Yeah, it was life changing, and that was really my aha moment when I just said enough. Mm-hmm. Enough, and now I'm on my own mission to learn for myself and not listen to how we've been programmed our whole lives as to how to live and eat, and that was a turning point for me.
And Erinn, how much of you said that you went over to a plant-based diet when you were in McMaster. How much of a transition was it for you?
It was a transition, but I mean, like my mom kind of said as well, when I was growing up, I grew up in, two very healthy households with my mom's side and my dad's side, and my mom was always very, very health conscious, and I grew up in the 90s, so, we would have, almond milk in our fridge and organic produce and, all of these weird sort of things that when, my friends would come over, they would say, like, what is this? What's almond milk? Can you milk an almond? What is this? But it was something that I was just always brought up with. So to me, making the switch to be vegetarian, vegan, plant-based, was very, very natural. And I think for me, my biggest aha moment was as a family going to Farm Sanctuary, this beautiful sanctuary where they rescue farm animals that, would have been on our dinner plates, but instead they're living out their lives in this beautiful oasis. And for me, it was the turning point that I just couldn't look back, and I could never, ever justify, eating an animal again. And
that was that soul connection.
Yeah. Yeah, it was beautiful.
I believe that when your soul gets touched, it's more than just our bodies or our minds. It's our soul gets touched with something that resonates so deeply within ourselves that there's an undeniable truth. You have to step forward into what your light is, what your actual mission is in life, and we found it.
And now you've been introduced to the consciousness portion.
Hello, there we go.
Let's do it.
That is so true from so many people that I know that are vegan or vegetarian, and for a whole host of different reasons. Some it's been because of a health concern. Some people have allergies, and so there are certain things that they can't have. And so they start on this path of finding something else. What else is out there? And then you find that there's a whole world of other things and other options.
Yes, there is a whole world. And when we first went plant-based, it was still kind of coming into mainstream. It was still honestly kind of difficult to find alternatives and to find options. But now, oh my gosh, there are so many options. It's like this beautiful whole different world becoming plant-based now. There's options for cheese substitutes and meat substitutes if you want to, introduce it in that way. And oh my gosh, it's amazing.
When we opened up Kind Food in 2010, so it's the beginning of 2010, let me tell you, we were called the freaks of downtown Burlington.
We were these like hippies that were bringing veganism to Burlington.
What? It'll never work. It'll never work. How many times did we hear that?
Yes,
you guys are
like 9 years ago.
Exactly. 9 years ago. Yeah. And we were told that good luck with that one. It'll never work.
And then we just said, watch us.
So you know what? When you hear that too, it makes you work all that harder, right? And so, before you knew it, we're taking over the world. So watch out.
See, I think all they really need is a serving of the buffalo style cauliflower.
Right?
Cauliflower wings. That's right.
And that's it. That will transform your whole life.
Yes. They're better than chicken wings, right?
This is really good. Yeah. But you're still a little freaky.
Right? I love it.
Which I think is sort of a badge of honor for you.
Right.
You're just ahead of the curve.
We just, you know what, it's with the opposition, right? And when you believe so much in your passion, you just believe so much in your cause, and it's when you get that resistance, it makes you work that much harder.
Yeah.
So,
and I think too, I think that that's why our businesses have been so successful, is because this is our authentic lifestyle. You know, we're not just pushing veganism, and that's not what we do in our daily lives. I think because it's so true to our core, I think that's why it's been so successful as well, right?
yeah, it's like we're not faking it.
Yeah.
It's like we could fall out of a chair right now, and that's natural, right?
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
natural that we are just, this is who we are. It's embodied in us, and it just it radiates out to be this, you know, entrepreneurship. We have these followers now, and people just really loving, you know, what we do, and we're very honored. We're so honored and grateful to be in this position right now.
Well, I think one of the things that strikes a lot of people when they first hear about this is, that's well and good, but how does it taste? You don't stay in business and you don't have a successful business if it doesn't taste good.
Right.
Right.
Right. Exactly.
Well, I guess, I mean, the proof is too. I mean, look at what BuzzFeed gave us, right? We're ranked 3 in the world. We won the best vegan dessert for the GTA for like 4 years straight.
And also, too, we have people on a weekly basis that will drive from Boston, from Philadelphia, from Montreal for literally a dozen cupcakes, and then they will turn around and drive home. Like,
Yes.
it's such a beautiful
like
thing.
Ottawa, this happens all the time. And people, they wake up in the morning, road trip to Burlington to Kelly's, and they're at our shop by about 12 or 1, and then they turn around, they're back home at nighttime in Ottawa.
Yeah.
Like this, it happens all the time. So,
Yeah.
yeah, that, I think that's got to be a testament to them tasting at least okay, right?
Hopefully.
And the other thing is, you will deliver.
Yes, we deliver.
Yes, we
I
do.
cannot believe how big your delivery area is.
Yes.
It's pretty massive, actually.
Yeah, we deliver basically everywhere in the GTA, as far north as Newmarket, far east as Bowmanville, to Grimsby, as far west. And then we actually just added on Kitchener, Guelph, Waterloo, and Cambridge as well. So we
That's a
have
new
a
one.
pretty large deliverable area for the business.
So saves you driving in, guys. You know, we'll do that plug right now.
Right?
Don't drive in. Just, you know, call us and place your order.
we're
Yeah.
happy to deliver it
Yeah.
to you.
It's a different kind of carpooling.
Yeah,
It is a different
exactly.
kind of carpooling.
What was the
I love
first
it.
thing you baked for Kelly's Bake Shop?
Oh.
What was recipe number 1?
Oh.
Mom, you gotta go with this one.
Well, really, the first one was the chocolate chip cookie.
Yes.
And that recipe is still the same recipe that we do to this day. So that's 8 years. But the one I got to say that I'm probably partial to and
Most proud of.
and it was months of creation, and I'll tell you the little story of how I would do it, and because I kept failing and I'm going, oh my god, like what's wrong, because it had to be the right amount of chewiness and then the right amount of crunchiness on the outside, but the flavor of the chocolate had to be like bang on. And I would sneak out of bed at like 2 or 3 in the morning. We lived right beside, like a condo beside Kind Food over there on Elizabeth Street. And so I'd walk over to Kind Food, and it was like blizzarding outside. And I'd pull the snow away from the front door of the business because I needed my time alone in there. And I'd work on it for 4 or 5 more hours till the rest of the staff showed up. And I'd throw them out. I was so frustrated. And then one day, I had a dream, I guess because it was so much into my consciousness, and there was a processing and an order of putting in the flax egg and then bringing in the espresso component too, and so it was the order of it, and I dreamt about it. And when I went to the bake shop, or to the Kind Food rather, the restaurant that morning, and I baked it off, and I could talk right now, I'm going to start crying. Oh my goodness. It was literal tears of joy. I gave it to Erinn and Ken and Michael, and we went, oh my God, we've got something so crazy, wildly awesome. And hey, the rest is history with that one. That was,
the rest
it's
is
never
history.
been changed. There's a process that has to be done. It's time consuming. Most of our staff hate us for it because it's so time consuming and labor intensive. Cody, if you're listening right now,
Yeah, I know, right?
we're shouting out to you because you rock it so well. We love you.
Yeah.
Because he's our rock star brownie maker now. And there is a process to it. And the love is still being put in, and that is one of the other magical ingredients, is there is a lot of love with our stuff. And so that's what it is. But in a
You know what that
short
sounds
story.
like?
What?
The process being important in
Yes.
the whole creation of the
Yes.
item Sounds very much like French cooking.
Yes,
Right.
exactly.
It
Exactly.
does. Love.
We're going to take a short break on 900 CHML. We'll be back with Kelly and Erinn from Kelly's Bake Shop. 905-645-3221. You've got a few minutes. We will take your call. I want to hear what you're thinking. And more importantly, I want to know what you're buying. We'll be right back on 900 CHML. Kelly's Bake Shop. It is unlike anything that you've ever experienced before, as is this show, because this is the show that's made with love. Now, one of the reasons why I keep saying that is because that's the name of your book.
It is.
It is, yeah. It was our very first cookbook that was published back in 2016, and it was this beautiful compilation of about 100 recipes, half sweet, half savory, from our restaurant at the time, and then from the bake shop, and then also from our personal kitchens as well too. And it's just this really beautiful way for people to get introduced into the plant-based lifestyle and plant-based diet, quote unquote. And it's been such a beautiful success. We can't keep enough of them on the shelves at the bake shop alone.
It turned into be a bestseller as well too,
Yeah.
for Canada, and you know, we put everything that we had into it, and I think it was a good start. Very good start.
That actually brings us to our first caller.
Yes.
Veronica is on the line with us. Hi, Veronica. Great. Thanks for joining us this morning. And what is your question?
So, hello, Veronica. How are you today? Good. This is Kelly. And yeah, so you know what we do, Veronica, is, I mean, with baking, you do have to have a certain amount of moisture holding products, etc. together. So we do incorporate oils into our baked goods, but we do get the best going. And Erinn's going to tell you what are the oils that we do use,
Yeah.
and hopefully they can be incorporated into your diet.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously everything that we use they're all plant-based fats and plant-based oils. So we use an organic and fair trade coconut oil that we actually bring up from California. Again, so good for you. It's so much better than the traditional, animal-based fat. So your body's actually going to be using it right away. We use some plant-based, organic and fair trade palm shortening as well too, as part of our frosting, and we bring that up as well too from actually South America, and it's sourced from this beautiful family-run company down there. So we use, again, overall, just some really great plant-based fats and plant-based oils that your body is going to use right away instead of the traditional animal-based fats.
There is a misconception with oils, right?
Yeah.
People thinking that maybe, they can't have them, but when you choose the right ingredients to take into your diet, that's when, your body can thrive. So, coconut oils, it's a medium chain fatty acid, and it's very high in lauric acid, and that really is an antibacterial, antiviral. It helps you in so many ways to help your body thrive and reduce inflammation. So, we've chosen these oils on purpose, and we hope that we answered your question.
You're welcome.
welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Oh, good. We're so glad.
Great. Thanks, Veronica.
Thank you.
And that means there's a phone line open at 905-645-3221 for you to jump in and join the conversation. And of course, this might be a great time for you to tell everybody what your social media contacts are, because they're long.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of
Yes, there are a lot of them. So so right now we're actually streaming live on Instagram and Facebook. So at Kelly's Bake, so KELLYSBAKE on Facebook and on Instagram. And then you can also, comment and message Kelly and I directly. So it's at Erinn Weatherby and at Kelly Childs XO. So you guys can feel free to send us DMs, comment, and ask us questions as well too. And we're very active on social media, so we'll get back to you as quickly as possible.
And we do. We want to hear from you, because
Yeah.
that just makes us so happy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I really like Veronica's question, because it was one of the ones that I had initially, because baking is more like chemistry
It
than
is.
anything else. And you need a certain balance of ingredients and certain reactions to happen for the product to turn out properly. So I was wondering, if you don't have eggs and you don't have dairy, and I mean, you've answered the oil question, how do you make it work?
It's funny. I feel like this is one of the most popular questions that people ask us and have asked us over the years. So, for example, for a substitute for eggs, we use flaxseed meal, so basically ground down flax seeds, and you mix 1 tablespoon of flax seeds with 3 tablespoons of water, and that equals 1 egg in a recipe. You can also use chia seeds as well too. So both of those containing mass amounts of, fiber and beautiful omegas as well too. We use applesauce in some of our recipes for egg and for binding, sweet potato purees, like it's literally endless.
Banana.
Yeah, you can use mashed banana.
There's so many ways to incorporate that, and we love the idea of calling that a vegan egg, right? So when you've got that 1 tablespoon of the flax meal or even chia meal or chia seeds with the 3 tablespoons of water, that it's just an instant substitute. It's something that you can just have in your pantry all the time and just do a sub in for any kind of recipe that you want to convert to being egg free.
Well, and if you're eating a baked good and you're tasting egg, it hasn't been made properly.
Right.
Most of the time, you're not going to taste that particular item anyway.
Right, exactly.
Right,
exactly. It's totally, it really is a fallacy, and I think that we've proven it, that, we have some people that love our products and they understand that you're getting so many extra health benefits by switching your diet out. So we know that when you actually incorporate a higher level of fiber into your diet and higher levels of omegas, that your body changes. I also too really enjoy the nuttier flavor. So besides even just doing a vegan egg sub out, like there's actually better flavors to me. My palate has changed completely to really enjoy the flavor, the nuttiness of incorporating chia seeds and flax seeds and flax meal into our diets.
Yeah. And one of the things that we had mentioned earlier before we went on air, but I think it's really, really true, is that that's just what we're used to. We're used to using things like egg as a binder because, well, that's what you had on hand.
Right.
Or using traditional flours or all the traditional ingredients that we have thought of. That's just because that's the way your mother, your grandmother, her grandmother did it.
Exactly.
Yeah, and it's so true. I mean, you just brought up flours. At the bake shop, we use a garbanzo bean and fava bean flour blend. So again, really high fiber, high protein bean flour. So it's not void of nutrients like, conventional white flour would be. So again, when you have one of our cupcakes, you're not getting one of those massive sugar spikes and sugar rushes, right? It's slowly going into your bloodstream, and it's honestly nourishing yourself. As crazy as it sounds, it is.
Baked that are really good for
right?
you.
They are.
Right?
They nourish you on so many levels, and I think that's what Erinn has such a great point when it's going slow into your body. That's everything in our lives, right? And it fuels your soul too on a whole different level because you're eating things that are good for the planet. You're actually not ingesting any animal products. And you're actually making your body healthier, right? So it's just such a win-win for everybody. And I don't know, I think that we just live this optimal life. It makes your brain clearer too. This is something else too, is a beautiful health benefit, and a side benefit of it is just living a very cleaner life. You have better mental clarity.
Well, I know something that happens when I have traditional baked goods or say a chocolate bar or whatever, you do get that energy spike that you were talking about. Then you get the crash, right? You're really, really tired. I know some people who are diabetics, they'll fall asleep.
Right.
And then you start getting hungry again because your body is saying, I'm low on energy now.
I'm low on energy, and also I'm empty on nutrition, the nutrients.
Yeah.
You didn't eat anything with any nutrition in it. So there's that. Your body is very brilliant, and it knows when it really needs to eat. And if you've eaten that white sugar, white flour thing that's just instantly converted to the sugars, very quick into your bloodstream, spiked your glycemic levels, but your body now is not fueled with anything except for emptiness. There's empty nutrition in it. So it's craving now for nutrition. It's craving for those minerals and vitamins and fiber and proteins and healthy fats. It's craving it. And that's what exactly happens.
Yeah, and it's so interesting too, because I feel like with that crash, it can create almost this mental fog, right? That I feel like a lot of people go through their daily lives not even really realizing that there is this fog, and it's this cycle, right? You know, you have this massive sugar rush and then the crash, and you just don't feel right. And that was something that I really noticed myself when I went plant-based, was that just this clarity and this sharpness. And I actually went plant-based when I was studying at McMaster about 10 years ago. And when I was studying for my exams, I could study in half the amount of time, and I was excelling in everything. You know, it was a beautiful thing for sure.
Yeah. I just saw a documentary, and actually it has some ties to some of the research that's going on at McMaster University right now, and that is the correlation between your gut and your brain. And there are as many receptors in your abdomen as there are in your brain. So if you're spending a lot of time digesting food that might be a little tougher to digest, it kind of makes sense that it's going to take away from your brain function.
Absolutely. So your gut and your brain are directly connected, and really your gut is your second brain. And when you actually struggle with digesting, and I'm going to call it toxic food, which I think our society is very prevalently ingesting, and the processing, processed toxic food. You're cutting yourself off to the source. You're cutting yourself off to what really should be divinely guiding you, and your intuition. You're cutting yourself off to speaking to a higher level of yourself, and that's really how we believe that the greater the food and the more nutrient dense the food, the less of a footprint it makes on the planet, that just you have this greater connection to source and your higher self.
Yeah. And when you're, our lives can get to be so crazy and so hectic, and when you reach for a box of something that you throw in a microwave.
So that's a 4-letter word to us, yeah, right?
A box or microwave?
Microwave, yeah. Maybe both. Yeah.
But if you're taking the time to prepare from the natural base ingredients, you're taking the time to really start to calm your brain down.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And take time to really care about what fuel you're putting in your body.
You got to say it's almost a meditative process, right? So this is what we're all getting back to too, is reconnecting again to the mind, to the soul, to the body, to the gut. It's when you go into that slowing down your life, is slowing down our lives, right? And going into that meditative process, and everything gets done on purpose.
Yeah.
You know, it's a beautiful thing.
Absolutely. And I think that more and more people now are beginning to realize where their food is coming from and how they're feeling after they eat a beautiful whole food, plant-based meal. And people want more of that, so I think it's all just coming full circle for sure.
Well, so there's a meditative process when you're cutting up vegetables, because it's a repetitive action.
Right.
But you also have to be mindful, because you're holding a knife.
Right, exactly. And then also being in the state of gratitude for saying, oh, these vegetables, where did they come from?
Yeah.
Right? Who harvested them? Right? And you go back to the actual source of where it all came from. I want to backtrack just a bit on that microwave 4-letter word comment. But I apologize for that. But every home that we've lived in, I go like, why do they even make space for these things? Because they don't serve us in any way whatsoever, and molecularly they change the composition of the food. So if you're putting in something that you think, even if it's a beautiful little bowl of sweet potatoes or something, and you're nuking them, microwaving them, you are going to open up the door and pull them back out once they're finished, but they're not going to be sweet potatoes anymore. I hate to break it to you guys, they're not. Molecularly, they have been changed. So that is affecting us as well too. It's affecting us from the GMOs of the food being altered, but also the way that we're processing them as well, cooking them.
And something else that I've noticed about microwave food is, it heats it up really fast. It cools off a lot faster than something that has been really slow cooked.
Warmed properly in a pot or a pan or whatever. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And lets all those flavors meld together. One other question, and I know this is one that almost every friend I have that's either vegetarian or vegan gets: replacing protein?
I knew you were going to ask that.
Where do you get your protein from? That's like our...
Well,
and will it really keep me sustained?
Yes, well, it absolutely will keep you sustained first. But there's actually been a bit of a misconception as to how much protein you need on a daily basis. I have been vegetarian, vegan for 10 years, and I know you have as well, Mom, and we have never felt better in our lives, and there is so much plant-based protein out there. We eat a ton of, beans, lentils, nuts, vegetables have a ton of protein in them that, just people don't really know about.
Yeah, kale is actually a big source of protein, and people
enough.
don't really realize that. And when people ask us that, and funny enough that we're getting asked it less and less. Do you find that too, Erinn?
Yep.
But I equate us to, say, the gorillas and the rhinos and the elephants and the giraffes and how beautiful and how largely majestic they are. And they're all plant-based eaters, right? They're all herbivores. And for me, I would much rather get my protein source from the source of where they're eating as opposed to getting my protein from an animal who ate that kale or ate those carrots or ate the greens, the vegetables, and then it got funneled through them. I would rather eat for a piece of meat. I would rather eat it directly from the source. To me, it's cleaner, it's efficient. My body runs on way less calories. I don't spend my body doesn't spend its time digesting, so instead I get to sleep at night as opposed to my stomach digesting, a pound of beef or something that will take literally hours to run through your system. So
possibly having other problems like acid reflux
and
all of those other things that come along with it as well. We're going to take another short break on 900 CHML. We will be right back with Erinn Weatherby and Kelly Childs of Kelly's Bake Shop. Please get to the phones. Give us a call, 905-645-3221, especially if you're at Kelly's Bake Shop on Brand Street. I want to know what you're buying. I want a guided tour through your palette. Okay, so give us a call. We'll be right back on 900 CHML. 900 CHML. I don't think there's anything like it anywhere in broadcasting right now. So it is a real honor to be in here. This is Cupcakes and Consciousness. Kelly and Erinn are in with us from Kelly's Bake Shop. It is the show that is made with love. And we're going to be explaining a little bit more about that in the next couple of minutes. I'm your host, Shona Thompson. Kelly and Erinn, please say hello, then good morning.
Hello, good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for having us. We're just so excited to be here. This is
very excited.
one of those pinch me moments for sure. So thank you.
We were getting a little giddy just before we went live and went, this is like a dream come true for us. And so thank you so much for this opportunity. And we're just ready to rock and roll with all you guys out here.
I understand Kelly's Bake Shop is now open for business.
Kelly's Bake Shop's now open, and we're gonna say hi to everybody, all of our staff. Guys, we love you so much. So thank you so much for listening to us right now.
I think there are a bunch of cupcakes that have just been raised in the air.
They have,
right?
Toasting us.
Which incidentally is on Brand Street. We are going to be talking about a number of different things. The conversation that we've already had just before we went to air has gone all over the place, and there are so many different and exciting things to tell you about. But first off the bat, want to make sure that people know how to get in touch. This is a great opportunity for people to find out more and ask their questions. So you can call us directly at 905-645-3221. That's the phone number here at CHML Radio if you want to ask your question directly. But you can also follow us along on all the social media platforms. And in fact, this show is being streamed live right now on Instagram and Facebook, so give a wave.
Woo! We're on Instagram and Facebook.
This is the best.
You can send me a direct message on Twitter or post a question on Twitter. My handle is at Shona Talk. Facebook page, Shona Thompson CHML, S Thompson at 900chml.com, or on any one of the Facebook.
Anything, basically.
This show's gonna be over before we list all of the
Kelly's Bake Shop. We're on all of them. So
this show is to help you get to know who Kelly and Erinn are, what Kelly's Bake Shop is, and the philosophy behind the food that you are involved with. This is your life.
It is. It truly, truly is. And
as we're saying this at the same time.
No, it truly is, and it's been something that we've grown so organically over the past 10 years now. And maybe I'll let you, Mom, kind of start where we started.
I guess my whole dream when I was a little girl, I mean, I just loved baking. I had a little make-believe bake shop in the back of my home, my parents' home, and I was like 4 or 5 years old, and I would just, you know, dream about baking and creating and just sharing the love with people. And then fast forward, I mean, here we are now in this beautiful situation. We opened up Kind Food, which is our restaurant, our vegan, gluten-free restaurant in 2010. And from there, all these incredible baked goods were being created. So, but we saw more and more the demand of the gluten-free coming out all the time, and consequently, and so much so that on Saturdays and Sundays, like, we just couldn't keep up. The orders started coming in, and we went, whoa, I think that we really need to think about opening up a bake shop on its own. It needs to get out of this business, and so this business can survive and thrive, and then Kelly's Bake Shop survive and thrive on its own, and that's what happened in 2012. It was born, and really, you know, we were so inspired by so many things. We were inspired by taking a family trip to Farm Sanctuary. That was an incredible trip back in 2009, and we actually touched animal souls then, and it changed us, transformed us into really connecting to the planet in a whole new way. So we had this beautiful inspiration flowing through our bodies, and we went, wow, like, you know, we got to share this with the world. And really, that's how Kind Food was originally created, was just this true passion that we just had to share with the planet. And then, you know, Kelly's Bake Shop is
and then now we have Kelly's Bake Shop. That's this bustling bake shop on Brant Street that has, you know, received global recognition. We were actually named the 3rd best cupcake shop in the world to visit before you die on BuzzFeed. Like, incredible, like, so amazing. And, you know, we're 100% gluten-free, vegan, and peanut-free. So the way that we kind of have built the business is that we're this beautiful all-inclusive business, right? So that anybody can come to the bake shop, they can come and get a dozen cupcakes, and they can bring them to anyone with any sort of allergies or lifestyle restrictions or changes or choices, you know? And it's a really beautiful thing that I think we've created.
Well, and I think it's important to point out that the BuzzFeed recognition is cupcakes, not vegan cupcakes, not vegan and gluten-free, just great tasting cupcakes.
Exactly.
Yes,
so we were up there with 25 other 24 other bake shops that were around the world that were conventional, white flour, white sugar, eggs, dairy, etc. And so we've blazed this trail to say, guys, you don't need to eat and cook and bake this way, right? You know, there are alternatives, and there are healthier ways to nourish your soul and nourish your body. So, and that was an honor. That was so cool to be the only one out of those 25 that, you know, embodied this healthiness.
And, you know, we're going to take a short break on 900 CHML. That will give you time to pick up the phone and give us a call at 905-645-3221. Please don't wait till it's, you know, almost 11 o'clock and you finally have the courage to call. Because by that point, we may not have the same amount of time to really get into what your question is. So 905-645-3221, that's one way to get in touch. Facebook, Instagram, whatever social media you're on, reach out, talk to us. One of the things I'm going to ask Kelly and Erinn when we come back is about how do you do a bake shop without any of the traditional stuff that we associate with baking? It's absolutely possible. They've been doing it for years. Kelly's Bake Shop is the company. Shout out to everybody at Kelly's Bake Shop if you're picking up some nice treats on a Sunday. You've made a great choice. We'll be right back on 900 CHML. Just want to adjust your microphone a little bit. You're just slightly off mic.
In this day and age, everyone's got an opinion. Fine, as long as
Instagram and Facebook, you guys call us.
We want you to call us.
905-645.
This is so cool. You guys get to see behind the scenes of what's going on right now.
We're on a break right now. 3221. Call us. Call us.
And hi to everybody at Kelly's Bake Shop. And we love you guys, all of our staff. What you do for us every day.
It's fun. It's fun. Okay, I'm just gonna end this for a little bit, and then I'm gonna come back.
How long of a break do we have?
3 or 4 minutes.